Welcome back to Nic-a-date Part 3, S&D Minute Dateless Buffalo Nickel Restoration Project.
According to CoinCollecting.com, the 10 most valuable Buffalo nickels are the 1921 San Francisco minted in MS60 condition, somewhere between 1765 and 2340. And as you go down the list, you can see the values here. I won't read them off to you. But 4 of the top 10 are S minted, and another 4 are D minted. So it's important, I felt, to restore the dates on the nickels that I can at least read the mint mark on. I used the blue book and the red book to derive value of the coins, and I used G4 as the value, and according to the book, G4 is legends and date readable. Buffalo horn does not show. So using this guide, basically, that's what a dateless buffalo is. You know, it's pretty worn, slick. And so what I did here is I took the liberty of cutting and pasting images of, you know, the value guide, a couple of things like the double die obverse and the 8/7. There's a couple errors that you can see in the Buffalo Nickel series, along with the price guide G4 to MS63. It also has the mintages. And so I do this so then I did a comparison. The blue book is for, I see it as a dealer's guide, and the red book are the buyer's guide or the collector's guide. The prices are about 50% less in the blue book. And those are the prices that a dealer will try to get the coin from you when you bring it into their shop. The red book is what they're trying to sell it to you for. So here's a repeat of all the mintages and price guides out of the red book. These books are both from the 2022 books. So the question is, can an acid-treated coin still have value? According to CoinHelpU, Buffalo nickels with no date, acid restored date values. Buffalo nickel restored date, many collectors will use a Nic-a-date or vinegar and other substance to restore the date to a Buffalo or even a Liberty nickel. It is often poorly done, so it's easy to see the acid etched area is darker or even lighter than the restored area. Buffalo nickels with restored dates is worth face value if it is a common date. Some will pay 10 cents for no date or restored date examples. However, the rarer the date and the mint, it is worth but a reduced premium. For example, a 1913S Type 2 Buffalo nickel is rare, and with the restored date, the value is reduced by 30%, but other dates and mints can be 50% or more. Buffalo and Liberty nickels with restored Nic-a-date treated or considered whole fillers regardless of rarity. So the question I have, did he mean reduced by 30% or only worth 30%? So if they're only worth 30% of the original value, that's reduced by 70%. It's easy to figure what he meant by 50% because that's like half. So I put together a chart to look at those numbers, but with a much more conservative approach using value that is 50% and 25% lower than G4 grade in the blue and red books to figure out what the potential would be if I was able to find some key dates amongst my dateless Buffalo nickel hoard. So here is the 50% value of the S minted Buffalo nickels. Here's the G4 value in the book and 50% of that value, right? So for instance, a 1913 Type 2, which is the most valuable of them all, $150 in the blue book, $225 in the red book. And so 50% of 150 is 75, and 50% of 225 is 112. And then I took the same method, only reducing it to 25% of the original value. So 25% of 150 is 37.50, and 25% of 225 is 56.25. So is it possible to get $56 for a S-minted Type 2 Buffalo nickel on eBay? That's the question. So I put together this chart of all the nickels that I found using the G4 values in the blue and red book for both the D and the S minted Buffalo nickels. I had a total of 88 D minted Buffalo nickels that I was able to decipher and 40 S minted nickels for a total of 128, which is $6.40 face value. And I'll explain this chart after we go through a visual of the coins that I restored. So the next part of this video is going to be a view of all the nickels that I restored.
Okay, welcome to the show and tell portion of the video. This is a 1913 Denver minted Type 1. 1913. You can see the date that's been restored. This is a 1913 S. You can barely make out the date there. And that's an S Type 1. I have a single Type 2 S minted, 1913. And then I literally have a stack, which is a huge payday here. These are all Denver minted, 1913s. 1913. 1913. 1913. 1913. These came out actually pretty good. You get the right light on them, they show up really well. 1913. S minted. I'm sorry, D minted. D mint. 1913. D minted. 1913. So right there is a stack of 7 1913Ds. That's a huge payday. Next, we've got the 1914 S's. S, 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 S. Some of these I had to restore the mint mark, but most of these I was able to make out the mint marks before I Nic-a-dated them. So 1914, 1940 came out really well. 1914, there you go. 1914, 1914S, 1914S. Okay, so what do we got here? We've got 6 1914 S's, and I've got a stack here of 5 Denver minted 1914s. $1914, 14, 14, 14, 14. So what do we got here? 5? Yep, there's 5. All right. So here I have a stack of 1915s. 3, 6, 7. These are all 1915s, and these are Denver minutes. I had no San Francisco 15s. 1915, 1915, 1915, 15, 15, 15. 6 of them. Sorry, that's 7. Let's just look at that mint mark again. Denver. 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 I had to use Nic-a-date on this one. I believe that is a D. It didn't really pop. If I determine that that is not, I'll remove it from the pile. There's a D. You know what? There's a mint mark. Okay, so no S's, but 7. I believe I got 7 here. Possibly only 6. And then we jump to the 1916s. San Francisco minute. Now, it's weird how the 16s, they all popped really well. I got 3. What do I got here? 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. All San Francisco minted. You know, another thing I noticed is that a lot of the Buffalo Nickels, they're the die rotations aren't exact. Like some of them are rotated a couple degrees. So let's just look at, these are all the mint marks. San Francisco, San Francisco, San Francisco, San Francisco, San Francisco. Some of them are pretty clear. Others are kind of, but you can tell by the shape of the blob that it's, I only Nic-a-dated the mint marks that were not obvious. Like this one I didn't do because it was obvious. This one, I can tell it's an S and not a D. I didn't Nic-a-date it to further. That one is an S. This one I think, no, I didn't Nic-a-date that one. And that one also is an S. So, now when I flip these over, you can see the 16s were plentiful. Dates popped really quick on most of these. Now, I don't know if I can see the double die 16s. That would be hard to tell here. I will take a closer look at these. Oh, wait a minute. That looks like a 23. That goes over here somewhere. 1916. 16, 16, 16, 16, 16, 16. Okay, so that was an estimate. I also have a stack of 16s from the Denver mint. Here's a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 also. Denver minted, sometimes the mint marks are very clear. Sometimes they're a little harder to read. But again, the 16s popped really well. Almost every one of them are very readable. And then I'll make a liar of myself. So that's a 16 clearly. I determined that this was a 16, a little bit hard. 16, 16, 16, 16, 16. As you can see, all Nic-a-dated 16s. All right, so I'm going to, I'm not going to go through and show you all the, every one of them. It's just going to make it for a long video. But this is my stack. These were all dateless Buffaloes, starting with the San Francisco Type 1, Type 2, 1914, no 15. I got a stack of 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23, I think here, 20, 24. So, and then I have a Type 2, Denver, Type 1, Denver, Type 2, Denver, a whole stack of them. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23, I believe, and then some later 20s. I have a full accounting. I made a chart, and we're going to look at the chart, and we're going to look at the values. Now, also, in addition to that, I Nic-a-dated all of the Buffalo nickels that I had that were missing the dates, right? I did Nic-a-date all of these, but they didn't come out. I mean, some of them came out, some of them did, some of them didn't. You can tell that that's been Nic-a-dated. Oh, that one came out. 23? No, is that a... Probably the mint mark is why it's in this pile. Hard to tell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these one step further. I'm either going to re-Nic-a-date them, or I'm going to take and I'm going to try a different method with the vinegar and peroxide. And we'll see if we can lift the dates that way. I also wanted to see if I can get these cleaned up a little bit. You know, I think I did a fairly decent job, but you can see the blob, right? You can see the blob where the Nic-a-date is. It's kind of unsightly. I'm going to do some experimenting further and see if I can't clean these up a little bit. I do think I still maintain value here, given the fact that you're literally looking at $6.20, I believe is what I ended up with. $6.20 in nickels, right? Nickel a piece. If you double that, it's $12.40. If I can get a dime a piece for dateless Buffaloes. Now that I've restored the date, I think I can squeeze a little bit of cash out of these on eBay. I was able to pull 128 Buffalo nickels with mint marks, all above the year 1929. So from 13 to 29, 128, $6.40 face value. Using the blue book and red book as guides for the D-minted and S-minted Buffalo nickels, we determined we had one D Type 1 and one S Type 1. We had 7 D Type 2 and 1 S 1913 Type 2. The most valuable was the S minted 1913. And so what I've done here is I took this number and multiplied it by this number, this number multiplied by each, the blue and red value. So for instance, 1 to 1, right, it's 220, 225. So the total value for all the nickels that I found in 1913 Type 2 is a total value of 225. Then I carried all those numbers down and totaled them out, and then I reduced them by 75% or 25% of the value, and then this is 50% of the value. So all of the S-minted nickels that I had, 40 of them in total, based on G4 value in the red and blue book, were reduced by 25 and 50, or by 25% of the value and 50% of the value to give you the total. So it totaled out 449 in the blue book and 809 for all of these totals. So 40 nickels worth 449 in the blue book, 809 in the red book. 25% of that value is 112 in the blue book and 202 in the red book. If I could get half the value, I would, and I was looking at the dealer price, 224, and I'm assuming I can get red book value on eBay, so potentially $404 on eBay for all of these S-minted nickels. And then if I was to sell all of my 88 D-minted nickels on eBay using the red book price, 25% of that value, $244, which is a huge number here, $2,433 for 88 Buffalo nickels with the D mint mark, totaled out at $24.33.
And so at 25% value, it's $608, and at 50% of the value, that's $1,200. So here are the totals on the coins. In the D's, I had 1 type 1, 7 type 2, 1913s. 1914s, I had 5. 1915, I had 7, 16 16s, 10 17s, 12 18s, 10 19s, 7 20s, no 21s. They didn't make a coin in 22. No 23s in the D range. And then, well, they didn't make them. They didn't make, for 3 years solid, any coins minted in Denver. So therefore, I didn't get any. It makes sense. Okay, so 2 24s, 1 25, 4 26s, which is a very low mintage for the S mints. And I did not pull any of those. And then so 27, I had 0. I had 5 28s and 129 going to the S. Again, S mintages here, so very low, top 3. 1, 2, 3, 3 of the 4 are very low mintages. And I did manage to catch a type 1 and a type 2 in S mint. And we're looking at potentially $45 and $225 minus 25%, right? Or minus 75% or 50%. So 50% of 225 is 112, and a third of that would be, around $56 we found. So here's the totals on S quantities: 1 1913 type 1 and 2, 6 1914s, 0 15s, 14 16s, 3 17s, 2 18s, 5 19s, 3 20s, 1 21. Now that's also a key date, apparently, because the number says it's a pretty big number. 2 1923s, 1 1925, and 1 1927. So again, totaled them out, reduced the price by 75% and then 50% in both the D count and B count. All right, next slide. It was long drawn out. You can print this out if you want and explore it at your leisure. So I just went to eBay to check out some comparables. In the 1913S restored Type 2, sold on eBay. This one sold for $89.99. The line means they agreed on a price, best offer accepted. $39 straight up, $73 straight up, $11.99 very low. $80, and this coin looks like it's fully restored or etched by probably the ammonia and baking soda, or not ammonia and base, ammonia and hydrogen peroxide mix. Still got $80, best offer. $79 here, a line going through it, and then here's one for $13.99. So the next page is going to be D types, or D-minted Type 2 sold on eBay. This one was best offer accepted, probably below $12.95. $3.29 for a Type 2 D-minted. These are all Type 2 D-mints, 1913. $9.99, $19.95 best offer accepted. $17.95 best offer, and $6.50. Not bad for nickels that were worth a dime or 5 cents before you Nic-a-dated them. So in this case, Nic-a-dating actually created value. So if you like the video and you like what you saw here and you like this series, let me know in the comments below, or come visit me on Facebook at Mojo Coin Roll Hunting. I'm up to 100 members now. Share your coin photos and ask questions there. YouTube doesn't allow you to post photos in the comments, but you can come here and you can post all the photos you want. I have no restrictions, and you can ask questions, and I will be happy to answer your questions. Mojo's Coin Roll Hunting on Facebook. I also sell on eBay. So most of the coins that I find Coin Roll Hunting, I sell on eBay under JDK Collectibles-9. Now, this is my son's website. He's a college student, and basically all of these coins are going to be his, and it's going to help pay for his college education. And so I encourage you to go check JDK Collectibles out on eBay. I've sold quite a few things in the last year, and I have 100% feedback rating. I do a solid job shipping. When you buy something and you pay, I ship it the next day. That's the way it goes. And I'm offering up rolls, individual coins, lots of West Points, $50 errors, you name it. If I find it Coin Roll Hunting and I've got copies of it in my collection, I sell off all my duplicates. So give me those 4 clicks if you like this video. Click on the thumbs up. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already had. And when you hit that bell, make sure you hit the black bell so that you get notifications every time I post a video. Another thing, I'm not getting lots of comments and shares. I really do appreciate the feedback and comments, and get out there and share my videos. I've built this channel it was 2 years in January, and I found that doing the shorts, I'm finding I'm getting more subscribers. So please comment and share. Go to my Facebook page, ask questions, pick my brain, show me your collection, show me your coins. I'd be happy to answer. I encourage you to do all of the above. Thanks for coming. Coin Mojo out.